We all know that there's no place like home, and you want your home to be safe. Stick around to the end of this video to learn about Simply Safe, the best protection for your home. There's no safe like Simply Safe. Ooh, you know, it's really good when good things happen to bad people. And I don't mean good things from their perspective. I mean good things from our perspective, from the perspective of the righteous, from the perspective of people who value decency and empathy and democracy. Mark Robinson, the current lieutenant governor for the state of North Carolina and current gubernatorial candidate who won in primary to be where he is. They knew not of the things we're getting ready to talk about, but they knew all of the public-facing bullshit about Mark Robinson, his bigotry, his hatred, his misogyny, his radicalism. They knew. And the Republican electorate in North Carolina decided, no, this is our guy. We don't care that it's very unlikely he's going to win in a general election. That's not what we care about. We want the most radical idiot on the ballot as we can find. And they did. They found it. Now, the thing I want to talk about before I play some of these clips that really outline what's going on here is I don't think this was his opponent. I don't think this was opposition research. It was from the broader sense what's considered oppo research that is even done by your side, just to know exactly what the foibles are, what the weaknesses are. And I believe that the establishment in North Carolina, I don't have any evidence of it other than looking at the writing on the wall, seeing the lay of the land and the curve of the road, to mix all these metaphors. Last night was the filing deadline at midnight. So this story dropped just in time for him to be ashamed and drop out of the race. But what did he do? What did he do? What did he do? He says, no. I'm pulling a Trump. I'm not going to apologize for anything. I'm not going to admit to anything. I'm not going to do what's best for the party. I'm not going to do what's best for North Carolina. I'm staying in the race and secure a victory for the Democrats. Can't make it up. So anyway, here's about 1 minute and 41 seconds from CNN, Aaron Burnett, kind of giving you a flavor for what's going on and tying this guy, it's so easy to do, directly to Donald Trump.
The Trump campaign reeling tonight after a stunning report from our own K-File, which reveals the Trump-backed candidate for governor in North Carolina, Mark Robinson, has made dozens of disturbing and damning comments on a porn website. Some of the comments are frankly so disturbing that we cannot air them. But they include Robinson writing, quote, "I am a black Nazi, and I wish they would bring it, slavery, back." Robinson also calling himself a, quote, perv while discussing his affinity for transgender pornography. Keep in mind that he has called transgender kids sick and demonic. These comments were made between 2008 and 2012. And at this hour, Robinson is defiant, refusing to step aside. And at this point, Robinson has only 5 hours to do so. 5 hours in order for Republicans to find a replacement candidate. The deadline is tonight at midnight. As for the Trump campaign, they've released a statement trying to distance Trump from Robinson, saying, "We're focused on winning North Carolina and we will not, quote, take our eye off the ball." We're trying to avoid the topic. But here's the fact. Robinson's Trump's guy. This is what Trump's been saying about Robinson for years.
This is Martin Luther King on steroids. I think you're better than Martin Luther King. I think you are Martin Luther King times 2. One of the great stars of the party, one of the great stars in politics, Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson. I'm a great supporter of his. You're incredible, Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson. This is a hot politician. He's a hot politician. Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson. A real star, great guy, friend of mine, Mark Robinson.
There's no way for Republicans to back away from this guy, and that's what they're trying to do. As an aside, though, isn't it interesting? It's always the people who yelp the loudest about their moral positions on the earth relative to transgenderism and all the other bigoted bullshit that they say and talk about and cling to with their religion and their weaknesses. it's always them that are really titillated by, turned on by the thing that they publicly profess as profane and disgusting and demonic, as he's called transgender children. Interesting. So they're trying to distance themselves, so much so that even Fox News personalities like dipshit Jesse Waters last night, while Jessica Tarloff is doing the noble work of trying to expand the minds of Trump voters, Fox viewers, Jesse Waters said something pretty peculiar.
And what's a really interesting state in there? North Carolina, which is a big target for the Democrats. And we just found out an hour ago that the lieutenant governor there, Mark Robinson, who's running for governor,
Never heard of him.
who Donald Trump called Martin Luther King on steroids, posted on a porn forum called Nude Africa that he's a black Nazi, expressed support for reinstating slavery, and detailed his sexual arousal from memories of peeping on women in public gyms, and he still fantasizes about it. He also has an Ashley Madison account.
How dare you kink shame?
Sure.
That's a great reaction. So Josh Stein was likely to win that race anyway. If they get Mark Robinson to drop out, his name is still on the ballot. But this makes North Carolina even more in play for Democrats. And this, again, is evidence of the type of candidates that Donald Trump thinks are good for the country. Martin Luther King on steroids, someone who says he's a black Nazi.
But he would obviously.
But what?
Let's take the obvious here.
Yeah.
Do you think Trump actually knew this guy was on porn sites?
My point is that Donald Trump likes anyone who likes him, and he doesn't bother to
That's
do the
called
work.
being human.
No, it's not. A lot of people like me who I don't like in return.
Like who?
Like,
I don't
Tell
want
us
to.
now.
I don't want to name names.
Go ahead. Let's start with Fox and Friends.
Yeah.
Poor Kill
all right,
Mead.
Jessica. Yeah.
All right, Jeff.
I
that's
didn't
it.
interrupt. I just want to let
Because
that be known.
it was
Greg
so
interrupted
corrupt
on
you
my
couldn't
behalf.
take it. The king shaming was
Okay,
kind of
well,
funny. And
I
I'm
will
not-
be going to Nude Africa in the break to see if that's true.
That show. I don't know how anybody can watch that show. Greg Gutfeld. Don't kink. They're trying to make a joke to distract from the facts on the ground. She's got the hardest job at Fox News, without a doubt, Jessica Tarloff. But did you hear? Jesse Waters there? Never heard of him. Now, whether it's a joke or not, it is a distraction, and it is an attempt to distance, which is interesting. Losing my voice here. Attempt to distance. And it is interesting when you have this on video.
All right, Lieutenant Governor, thank you so much for joining Jesse Waters Primetime.
Never heard of him. All right, Lieutenant Governor, thanks for giving us your time here at Jesse Waters Primetime. Now, what's great about this, I mean, there's many things that are just delicious, just chef's kiss. But it is him refusing to drop out of the race and telling Andrew Kaczynski, who's doing really just fantastic work, he is worth every single penny he's being paid by CNN, uncovering all kinds of stuff about all kinds of people who need to be outed. He's interviewing Mark Robinson, who's defiantly recalcitrant about not leaving the race, and he says something that is so on brand for Republicans in a projection type of way that it's almost unbelievable.
Rumors that some of your campaign staff have quit. Can you tell us if that's true or not?
Absolutely not, and we are not getting out of this race. There are people who are counting on us to win this race because, again, we don't want a governor who's going to be a person that can't be counted on to tell the truth.
We don't want a governor that can't be counted upon to tell the truth. Truer words, Mark Robinson. Truer words. Now listen, he is, again, did not leave the race. He has left the Republican Party in North Carolina in peril. And I predict there probably will be some sort of legal maneuvering to put forward another candidate, maybe take it to court, even though the deadline is up. Because Republicans, they don't want to follow the rules. They don't want to go by the edicts of the law like everybody else. They want the rules changed for them, just like they did for Robert Kennedy Jr. in the state relative to ballot access. So here he is. This is a statement he made. We'll just give him the last word here about leaving the race or not. He posted it on Twitter.
Hey guys, Lieutenant Governor Robinson and your Republican nominee for governor as well, of course. Well, guys, the news media is at it again. My opponent is at it again. You all have seen the half-truths and outright lies of Josh Stein on these ads over and over again. And now a story leaked by him to CNN is appearing now. Let me reassure you, the things that you will see in that story, those are not the words of Mark Robinson. You know my words, you know my character, and you know that I have been completely transparent in this race and before. Folks, this race right now, our opponents are desperate to shift the focus here from the substantive issues and focus on what you are concerned with to salacious tabloid trash. We cannot allow that to happen. And folks, we've seen this type of stuff in the past as well. Clarence Thomas famously once said he was the victim of a high-tech lynching. Well, it looks like Mark Robinson is too, by a man who refuses to stand on stage and debate me about the real issues that face you. Instead, they want to focus on salacious tabloid lies. We're not going to let them do that. We are staying in this race. We are in it to win it. And we know that with your help, we will. God bless you. And we will see you where? On the campaign trail.
Half-truths? So it's half true. Is it you don't do your things to yourself while watching transgender porn, or is it that you just watch it and you don't play with yourself, Mark? Well, what's the half-truth about everything that's been said? Because your denials are weak. Look, I'll link below to the CNN article that talks about how they linked this certain username to him and all. It is just bananas. Anyway, I'd love to know what you think. If you're a North Carolinian, I would really love to know what you think about this. What are your coworkers and your neighbors and your friends saying about this? Do you know Republicans, and how are they reacting? That's really the answer that I'd love to hear. You can comment below and tell me. You can also call and leave me a voicemail, 714-576-4054. Or, as always, you can email me this critical information to daily@dollemore.com. If you want to help me make these videos, I would encourage you to do so if you have it within your financial means. If you're on a fixed budget, or you're on Social Security, or you're struggling financially, don't worry about giving to independent creators. Not just me, anybody. Take care of yourself. But if you do have an extra $2 you want to throw my way, or anybody else's way in independent media, because it's important, that would be great. You can click the join button below, become a channel member on my channel, or anybody else who has it turned on. It is that important to advertise it for everybody else too. So I would appreciate it. You can also go to my Patreon page, patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. Fantastic way to help support this work. Follow me on social media if you'd like to increase your quotient of sorrow, because that is what it is. I am at Dollemore, and we can be miserable together. I would appreciate it. I'll see you next time. Be genuine. Stick around from a word from today's sponsor. There are many aspects of life here in Washington, D.C. that we absolutely love, but safety is sometimes not among them. Break-ins have happened in our neighborhood, and who knew that dog thefts are a thing? As a former United States Marine, I'd like to think that I'm better than average at protecting my family and our home, but who can I look to when I'm not at home? SimpliSafe is quite simply the best protection for your home. Designed with groundbreaking monitoring technologies, SimpliSafe is an award-winning security system with lightning-fast emergency response that gives you comprehensive protection against not just intruders, but also fires, floods, and other home threats. Save 50% on your system, plus a free indoor security camera, and your first month is free when you sign up for core monitoring. Visit simplisafe.com/Dollemore to customize yours. There's no safe like SimpliSafe. Named for 5 years running among the best home security systems by U.S. News and World Report, SimpliSafe is the next step in home security. Their 24/7 live guard protection allows SimpliSafe agents to act within 5 seconds of receiving an alarm. Via their smart alarm indoor camera, the SimpliSafe team can both see and speak to intruders in real time and also convey critical details to 911. Unlike typical home security systems, though, SimpliSafe is easy to install and activate. It takes less than an hour. And SimpliSafe is easy on your wallet as well. Starting at less than $1 per day, It is less than half the cost of traditional security systems. And with no long-term contract, you can cancel anytime. How refreshing is that? It is simple to upgrade your home protection. Head to simplysafe.com/Dollemore to save 50% off your system with a free indoor security camera and get your first month free when you sign up for Core Monitoring. Put safety first because there's no safe like Simply Safe.